Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the pilot episode of Me Brotha, the only internet podcast about the Nickelodeon classic Drake and Josh. A show which ran for 4 seasons between 2004 and 2007 or 8?
Something like 7.
7?
Something like that.
Something around that. But truly a classic and one of the shows that really defined a generation, the same way that a Cosby Show or I Love Lucy, if you will, the later generations. So we'll just start out here. I'll let you understand who I am. My name is Joe Butch. I'm from Kansas. There's I have a website, so we're getting off to a good start. Joebush.net, and why don't you go ahead and introduce who you are?
I'm Ben. I like to think I'm the Josh of the pair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Missouri, technically, and
boys.
Yeah, I currently don't have a website.
You don't, not anymore, yeah.
Yeah, there's a million sites.
The website of this show will be joebush.net. Go there for all the hot articles.
Absolutely.
On everything, from life to music to... Anyway, show time. I do consider myself the Drake of this, too. And
it just makes sense.
It really does. I play the guitar, and everybody loves me.
Yeah.
And I believe those are the only two character traits of Drake in this first episode.
You love, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
I do love
Rocket
Shock.
I was going to say Candy, because he's a big...
He is a, yeah, but that's later on in the series.
We'll learn about that someday.
We will.
Someday soon.
So anyway, this is the inaugural episode, January 11th, 2004, which means this show is 11 years old.
God.
And as of, last year it was a decade. That's because I remember watching that first episode. It was after some other thing, and it was like, yeah, we got this Drake and Josh show coming on.
Well, yeah, I knew I knew them both from Amanda's show.
From
I was
the Amanda
like,
show.
oh yeah, let's watch this. I love them on the Amanda show.
Mm-hmm.
Quite possibly more than Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda turned out not to have the
it didn't age well.
Star power of the two, or of the three of them, really. I guess Josh technically had the best career. That's hard to really...
Since the show, definitely.
Yes, after the show, he's had a couple of roles in real movies, including a recent one, which I can't name, but I did hear his name. And he's got a Vine account, and everybody likes that, and I don't know what Drake does. I don't know that maybe he retired or something. Who knows?
All I remember about Drake is that he kept coming out with music, declared bankruptcy at one point.
Really?
Maybe a year or two ago, and would spend a lot of time on Twitter harassing Justin Bieber fans. And that's all I know about Drake since 2007.
Well, he's made quite a career off of that.
Yeah.
So this inaugural episode, the pilot episode, sets up a couple of common tropes over the series. Josh is embarrassed about who he is. Drake is embarrassed about who Josh is. Drake is interested in women. Drake sometimes oversteps a couple boundaries and ends himself in some trouble.
Gets a little selfish, if you will.
And Josh has to take the heat, but at the end of it, they realize that they do care about each other and that they had a good time together. And at the end of the episode, they are brothers. They start out divided, but at the end, they're nothing but true brothers.
Yep. I really wish I knew, because there's clearly a time skip. Because the parents announce at the very beginning, hey, we're getting married, and then it's a couple days later that Josh has already moved in. His father Walter's already moved in.
Mm-hmm.
Usually that seems like it would take a while.
Yeah, you think the move-in process would be a little harder on him. I mean, he is a go-getter, and the parents don't have any issues moving in at all, of course.
Mm.
Some of the trivia for this episode does mention that Audrey, which is the name of Drake's mom, which I didn't know until I read that sentence, and Walter are the first to share a kiss in the series.
Yeah.
Which, hey, what do you know?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of if they ever say her name is Audrey.
I'm sure they do at some point. I just don't remember it. It's not because Megan always called Josh's dad Walter. Well,
yeah, him and I think Drake would occasionally, but yeah, we heard Walter's name a lot. I don't know.
Maybe that's because Josh wanted a deeper bond with Audrey than Megan wanted with Walter.
Oh, I'm sure Josh had no problem just calling her mom right away.
Josh wanted a mom, but Megan was more hesitant.
Yeah.
It shows that she was truly the more, how would you say, mature of the two.
Right. And more complex, I think.
More complex character. Of course, she shows that in this episode by pouring hot sauce into spaghetti and drinks.
Yeah.
The first of the times that she does something mean and hurts her with the intent of giving her brother and new brother immense pain, which really is...
this is going to be a thing.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and she might have a problem with that. I don't know if that's an issue that you see in many children who grow up to be kind of, I think the word is a serial killer.
Something like that.
Enjoying bringing pain upon other people. So, I'm just going to go ahead and explain what happens in the episode. Basically, Drake and Josh move in together, and Josh is excited, Drake is not, as another common theme throughout the series. Drake gives up his room, his very cool room with all of his nice White Stripes posters and whatever he's got on the wall, that big American flag in the background, a drum kit set up in the middle of the room because he's so just goddamn cool. He's got a movie projector in the background for some reason.
It's got loose speakers. I think there's a mini fridge, or if there isn't, there is eventually.
He's just the coolest person.
It's the Hey Arnold room.
Effectively, yeah.
Because Arnold also had a really cool room, and the only reason they did that is because his parents were possibly dead.
No.
So this, I don't know, maybe they're just I don't know, he's super happy, I don't know.
He's just a cool guy.
He's super cool.
And he has a cool room. Because he's cool. Now, Josh, the coolness ratio of Drake to Josh is actually very high because Josh has no room, and there's nothing cool in his.
Right.
Yeah.
We never see where he used to live. Or
that's
anything.
that's true. For all we know, he lived in a van.
Possibly. There's no tie to there's never any reference or ties to life before the pilot. We don't know anything about Audrey's ex. We don't know anything about Walter's ex. We don't know where Josh used to live, but it was clearly in that town.
We don't know that there was a Josh before there was a Drake.
I like to think there wasn't. Because otherwise, if I'm thinking about Drake, Drake or Josh instead of Drake and Josh, I get real queasy.
Maybe there could be no Drake if there were no Josh. Or vice versa. Maybe they don't exist. Maybe they're not real.
Oh. Maybe
look at my image on Reddit.com. Drake is real. Audrey is real. Megan is the only sane one. Josh and Walter are not real. Because Megan killed them. No.
I thought she was the sane one.
Megan was the insane one. She killed Drake and Audrey, forcing Walter and Josh to come into her imagination as the real people, but she never figured it out. That's why she torments them, is to try to get them out of her mind, but they won't.
It's rough stuff.
It is. Childhood ruined. Share this on Facebook, like this on Facebook, retweet. 5 stars, YouTube.
Ruinedchildhood.tumblr.com.
Somethingawful.com forum. Link storm. Anyway, the basic crux of the episode is that Drake likes a girl, which can be said to describe just about every other episode.
Yeah.
And then Josh is some sort of an advice columnist, and like me, has to cross-dress to write anything. Which is a common problem. I'm not knocking him for that.
No.
Drake finds out that Josh is using this pseudonym as an advice column in the newspaper. As somebody who did write an advice column in a newspaper once and had his name put on it, even though the name was like Advice as Anonymous, written by Joe Bush, because the editor didn't. It was like 9th grade middle school newspaper. It can be a very difficult experience, especially when people fake the questions they send in.
Right. I'm sure it happens a lot.
I was the hit of the middle school, to be completely honest. That was the best column. I don't feel bad about saying that either.
Wow.
I'm pretty.
I did not know this.
In that fact.
They wouldn't let me write a column.
They wouldn't?
Paper, no.
They let you write one and then...
They wouldn't even give me a shot because I'd like tell them like, yeah, I want to give bad advice because I was just this little weirdo against the grain. Jerk ass.
We didn't have anybody send in any questions, so we had to make up our own.
Oh man.
And the implication was that I knew everything, and that they would fire me as soon as I didn't know something, and the question that was the fireable offense was what color of hair do bald people put on their driver's license? Because I was just bored with writing it, and I stopped. And that was the end of that. Now, the end of it in this episode would be whether Josh could not do the outfit thing, and they found a letter from a girl who Drake has a crush on, and Drake uses that to his advantage to become manipulative and take advantage of the situation and get a date with her. And then her boyfriend, Buck, who does have a Wikia page, the jock boyfriend who mistakenly take Josh for Drake because Josh was sitting with his girlfriend, Tiffany, while Drake was in the kitchen, so he challenges Josh to a fight and knocks out Josh with one punch, and then leaves with Tiffany. That was all one unbroken sentence right from the Buck page on Drake and Josh at wikia.com. They also know his exact height and weight, 6'9" and 216 pounds.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
So,
I wonder if that's like his fictional weight.
Maybe it's the actor's actual weight. Maybe that was him.
Maybe.
In character.
If I was in an episode of Drake and Josh and not much else after that, which isn't true, I think he actually went on to
I feel like I've seen him somewhere.
I was on his IMDb page or something. He did movies at some point. But I totally would have found the Drake and Josh Wikia and just added my own one-off character.
Let's see, he was in Rest Stop, Don't Look Back, 2008. He'll be in The Courier, which comes out later this year. I don't know anything about that. He hasn't been in a movie in 7 years, but this will be his first return. He was in the 70s House TV series on MTV. I don't know if you remember that. I think that was MTV.
We didn't really have MTV. It was blocked a lot.
Did you have PBS?
Yes.
Do you remember Prairie House?
No.
Okay, it was where they made people live on a prairie for cash and prizes. Or no cash and prizes, actually. It was can you survive?
Right.
And they discovered that emphatically no, if they couldn't. Anyway.
No, never. I think we had watch an episode in my American history class.
Yeah, that's how I watched the entire thing. Was in Kansas history in the 7th grade.
Oh, mine was nice.
They offered.
God,
nice school.
Teach your subjects.
It was about 2 weeks of just that. Because it was a long series, and I watched it again last year, and I was just like, yeah, I remember all of this. And at the end of the series, they were like, yeah, so the one guy who, actually did work and built his house, and, it was just him and his wife set up for the winter, they probably would have made it. And the two that, for whatever reason, cut their wood up into very small chunks for some reason, definitely would not have made it.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's effectively it. Buck beats up Josh? No, Buck says he will beat up Josh.
Right.
And Josh says he will take him on in a fight. Josh learns karate.
For $30.
Yeah, he gets the crash course. And that's, I don't remember anything about it. I know that the karate instructor, who is not on the wiki, not even mentioned, does ask if they want chicken tenders.
Yeah, very, very important fact.
Recall that laugh. It was a good laugh. And then they go out to the fight. Buck beats up Josh, and thus ends the episode. And Drake says they are brothers. That's a very basic plot summary that's probably available on YouTube, wherever you can get it. I don't think Nickelodeon's too heavily hunting the pipelines for that. So, and now I guess we'll go to the trivia section of the Wiki page. This is a godsend, drakeandjosh.wikia.com. As I said, Audrey and Walter are the first to share a kiss in the series, the first of many, most by Drake and some by Josh.
Yeah.
As we find out later.
Because Josh eventually... Well, I'll leave it at that.
Well, spoiler alert. Anyway, Josh says, "Hug me, brother," for the first time. Also the first time we've said it in this episode, because we did have the title line here. Number 3, Walter seems relatively good at basketball, although he smashes a lamp. It is possible that Josh's grandmother taught him. Of course, that's some foreshadowing for a later episode.
Yep.
This episode marks the first time someone cross-dresses. So that's good to know. It reminds me of, trivias, they remind me of, I don't know if you ever watched any of the Seinfeld DVD box sets.
No,
they had a subtitle track called Notes About Nothing, and it would just be like little trivia facts about what was going on in the episode.
Oh, I love those.
And me and my friend, like really late at night once, watched the first 2 seasons of it, and by like this, they would always keep a counter of every time Kramer entered an apartment, and by the end of like the second season they were up to like 30, which is something way too, or very high for a man such as Kramer.
Right.
This is the first time a guy, Josh in this case, puts something in his clothes to make it look like he has breasts. Something that Ben and I know very well. Working a camp.
Working in children's theater.
Yeah, that's always a cheap laugh, is socks stuffed in his shirt. Yep. Megan plays her first prank on Drake and Josh in this episode. It was Toshi Toda, who was the martial arts teacher. It says he guest starred, which implies that he had a career outside of this.
I'm gonna guess not.
Well, he has a real headshot on IMDb, so that's
shoot.
He was in Menace to Society.
He's in a lot of stuff.
He was in Click, of course, the classic role.
He played Mr. Yang and Even Stevens.
Shit. What did he do in Menace to Society?
Which...
I have not seen that movie, but I would like to see what he did. He later appeared in an episode of iCarly.
He's in the Checks episode of Seinfeld. I do not remember this one that well. Japanese... Jerry has to endorse hundreds of royalty checks from Japan because of his work on the super terrific Happy Hour show.
Okay, season 8.
Yeah.
I have yet to get there, actually, so I will look forward to reconnecting with Mr. Toda as my Seinfeld journey goes on.
Yeah.
He would later appear in the episode First Crush. Oh, so he's a recurring character. Later in the season, again, more foreshadowing.
Just seems like just the second. Oh, he's the manager for Show You Weenie and Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. I know that episode well.
Eric Bolanowitz, as you mentioned, does make his first appearance here.
Mm-hmm.
A recurring character, a very famous recurring character. And This is the first episode in which Josh is wearing an earring.
Like, I went through the whole show when it was airing,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't notice an earring on Josh's ear until, like, friggin', like, the last season or one of the movies. And I was like, why is Josh just wearing an earring? And they're like, that's, like, always been his thing.
Huh.
No.
Wow. I had no idea.
Like, I couldn't even, like, I thought it happened when he kind of got in better shape. I don't remember it being an early thing, but I think it always has.
Huh. Well.
It's weird, I don't know.
That is incredibly bizarre, but hey, what do you know? Josh, impressive show, Drake and Josh. Great, I knew men with earrings before Drake and Josh as well. I believe most of the members of NSYNC had them. So, and then the Goofs are not all that interesting. There is, of course, the eternal question that stuck with me throughout the whole episode. Why did Drake ask if Josh's breasts were real when he saw him before and it was clear he didn't have them?
I don't know. I mean, the answer is yes, they are real because, men have breasts. Mm-hmm. Portly men such as myself, a little more so. A little more to give. I don't know. I think I'd chalk that up to early Dan Schneider era humor of boys cross-dressing is funny. Because 2004 was a very different time for children's shows.
Really, that was the entire premise of an Amanda Mines movie. So, She Was the Man, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Most I remember that was I was in a mall in St. Louis, Missouri. Mm-hmm. I saw that it's just like a big poster on an escalator. And I was like, huh, that seems like a movie. And it sure was. I never saw it, though. So, there we go.
That's not the soccer one, is it?
Yes, that is the soccer one.
I think I remember liking that one. I don't remember like any of these. Oh my god, I've seen like half the movies she's in. She's been in like 12 movies, and I've seen most of them. I saw Big Fat Liar. I saw What a Girl Wants. I saw Robots. I saw She's the Man. I saw Hairspray, and I saw Easy A. God damn,
that is. I've seen a lot of those too.
Yeah,
she just kind of sneaks into things sometimes.
She's my favorite character.
She wrote all that to the Amanda Show, and she wrote that to whatever after that. So, getting that Nickelodeon top dollar initially is a very bad thing. So I guess all we have left is discussion. Of this classic episode. What do you think about the pilot of Drake and Josh? Pilot, by the way. Yeah.
I'm surprised at how many recurring things it set up with it, and it definitely didn't mean to do that, because that's the thing about pilots, you just try and make a good episode that can stand on its own, and you don't know what's gonna stick and what's gonna be well received, because a lot of the gimmicks and gags that kept coming back did not get a lot of planning in the beginning, if any. I don't know. I think I like it. I don't think it's that great. 11 years later. But it
was memorable, and actually it wasn't. I came into this episode and I basically didn't remember any of it outside of.
I forgot the whole pilot.
Outside of the part where he learns karate, really the line where Drake's like, "Can you just give him the crash course in karate?"
Yeah.
And that's basically it. It's a very, I wouldn't say stereotypical, but it's a very easy thing to write. Bully intimidates, he tries to get back. The comedic premise is that you think he might, and then the comedic payoff is that he doesn't.
Of course.
A very simple role in comedy, which, is to be expected. I don't expect that much more from a show for children.
Yeah.
And when I was, 2004, been 8 years old when that came out.
Were you? Oh God.
Yeah.
I was
now.
I was 12.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It was TeenNick, so we were both early.
I was I wasn't a teen yet.
I don't think I was ever a teen when the show was airing, but hey, you like what you like. Sometimes you're a little mature beyond your years, and in some cases that means you watch teen-oriented shows. I'm still a teen right now, and for the next
that's weird.
27 days, I will
gross.
be
So gross.
the intended audience for Drake and Josh, and then on April 26th they turned 20, and really do need to purge this from my system.
Yeah. The 20 is the nothing year, so you're gonna have fun with that.
There's no Drake and Josh during the 20 years. There's not even an adaptation.
Yeah. Now I'm looking through season 1. I don't remember just trying to go based off of episode names. I think I only remember one episode out of 6 isn't too little, but still.
I remember Dune Buggy. I remember Believe Me, Brother, from the image that the Wikia uses.
Mm-hmm. I guess we're not going to see the mom again until episode 6. Maybe, I don't know.
That's why we don't remember her name, is because they don't even use her.
Oh no! Wait, nope. I misread that. I was looking at the list of episodes for season 1, and I saw Nancy Sullivan is absent for 5 episodes. I'm like, what the heck? How is that? But that's for season 2, which is So yeah, she is apparently in all of them. I'm a liar.
Wait, what's her name?
Nancy Sullivan.
Okay, that was also my aunt's name. So that's
both.
Yeah.
That's not. No.
I do remember Grammy. The only one I don't remember was First Crush, and I vaguely remember that because I think, reading the synopsis, there's a part where Drake puts his arms through Josh's sleeves and plays guitar for him.
Oh God, that does happen.
That's about the first season. We'll be together to look over the rest of this first season, and then the second, third, fourth, and beyond. The 2 movies, one of which does feature a Tony Hawk cameo. Thank you for sticking with us for the first episode of Hug Me Brotha.
Hug Me Brotha. I'm excited.
We'll see you around, and keep moving forward.
Bye.
Goodbye. Megan is the only sane one.